Right, Coley, look, we watch your games. Man City is back in action. How good is it? We've seen the World Cup, Carlton, and look, we enjoyed it. It was brilliant. But how nice was it to see the big hitters back in action? De Bruyne, Haaland, setting each other up. Them two going at it full tilt. Man City, Liverpool. It was fast paced. It was excellent. What a game!
It was a brilliant game. Look, this is what we want. Obviously, it's not the Premier League, it's the Carabao Cup, but it's still eventful. I think this is what they're going to try and do. They've given a few other players some time off as well, understandably.
Yeah.
But still a strong squad from both sides. Mm-hmm. And we was in for a great game. And if this is signs for things to come in the Premier League, we're in for a treat.
I mean, how good is De Bruyne? I mean, just watching back some of the highlights, his crossing goal. I mean, if he was
pinpoint, innit?
If you was playing up front and he was in your team, I mean, you would have had 120 goals.
No, I wouldn't have. I'd have been scared of all the balls that's coming into me because I'd have missed more than I put it in there, and then I'd have been more exposed.
Yeah, you'd just be like, listen, just lump them up to me. I can flick them on. But don't put them on my toe because I'll miss. I mean, what a player he is. I mean, I felt for him in the World Cup because he just looked frustrated. He had players around him who weren't good enough. But see him again back in action for Man City.
Well, he didn't help his course, though. He can't be coming out in that World Cup game saying, my team's too old. Mate, so he's got in there.
He's being honest, isn't he?
He's being honest, but there's a time and a place to talk like that. Not whilst you're at the World Cup and you need to win the next game.
I mean, in terms of Liverpool, looked a bit open, didn't they?
Yeah,
I know Man City were at it. I think the scoreline almost flatters Liverpool to a certain degree. They had some big chances, Man City, to really put them to the sword. Liverpool, they're out of the cup competition. They're struggling in the Premier League. Are we going to go back now to seeing a struggling Liverpool side? Or do you think they'll sort it out?
I'm hoping for Klopp's sake that he sorts it out and he gets it right. I think this was a massive game for him to try and get back in rhythm. Because obviously, if you beat Man City at Man City, even if it's in the Carabao Cup, and maybe they're not taking it that serious because they're probably focusing on the league to get high up the table.
I think they're taking that game seriously, though.
They had to. You have to come and take this game.
Put the best side out there. They had available.
Exactly. So that's why you got to look at it and think you might be worried because he's not. But it is Man City. You got to give that. They're not in the. Man City are flying at the moment when you look at it. Arsenal, Man City, they're flying. Then you got Liverpool that's trying to get back up there. So this would have been a great game for them to impose themselves on. And I know that that they've got, what's their next game? Villa away. They got Villa away, Liverpool.
Yeah, 5:30.
Yes, they got Villa away, Liverpool. So they was probably needed to set up to this game to be looking forward for that game so they can actually go and implant what they want and their style of play. But when you look at it, it's measured, in it. Like if Núñez puts them in the onion bag, then you're looking at a different case.
Bag. I mean, he missed some chances, though, Núñez, didn't he?
But that's that sharp end of the sword. Yeah, you've got to be ruthless. Do you know what I mean? Up there, you have to be ruthless. And listen, I like Núñez. I think he's a top player. He's runs, his aggression, gets around the pitch really well. But see, like that, Kane's putting them chances in the net. Do you know what I mean? So that's what they're missing at the moment. And when you look, you could say, is he bedding in right now? What is it? How long does it take for him to bed in? It's too long. You need to be getting more practice, putting them in the onion bag. He has to do it.
Yeah, I worry for Liverpool this season. Top four is going to be a battle for them. And there's a lot of good teams that are playing well at the minute who are amongst. Do you think Liverpool need to go out in January, sign a couple of big hitters?
Listen, the worry for Liverpool was the midfield, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, look, they're getting players back from Thiago was a massive miss whenever he's out. Keita's back as well, so hopefully they can find
Not the answer, though, is he?
That's what I'm saying. So it's an age in midfield. So they still do need to go and buy that one midfielder that holds everything together. Obviously, Van Dijk weren't playing today, so you got to consider that as well. And he's a massive player for them. So listen, I don't think it's all doom and gloom for them. Hopefully, they can find their. Obviously, Van Dijk gets back, but he's not the one that's going to be scoring goals. They need their goal scorers.
Yeah. Look, we're going to build up to the games on Boxing Day as well, Colin. I know you're a massive part of West Ham, and they've been struggling recently, mate. Before the World Cup, we're limping over the. Staying out of the bottom three.
Couldn't wait for the
World Cup, right? But you got Arsenal on the 26th of December, live on talkSPORT.
Yeah.
What do you think the pressures on David Moyes are becoming? Because there's a lot of, speaking to West Ham fans, I know a lot of them, and a lot of them wanted him out.
Listen, people have short memories, yeah? You got to understand, like, he's got us to a place where we never dreamed of being. You know, like now we're looking up the table, and yes, it's disappointing that we haven't started the season in the Premier League the way he would have wanted it, the way the players would have wanted it, where the fans would have wanted it. But sometimes these things happen, and now sometimes you just got to stay still and just say, do you know what, we're going to work, we're going to grind it out. We're still doing well in Europe, you know, you can't forget that. There's a team bond, there's a team spirit, but at the same time, sometimes you do have to back your manager and just go. So I'd say he'd use this period, this World Cup period, to try and get that team back to thinking we're good enough in the Premier League to get the results that's required.
If he has a few sticky games though at the start of
it's going to be it's normal. It's normal if you're not winning games, you're not guaranteed your job. He'll tell you that firsthand. It's just a normal thing. But hopefully he can get it together within the next 2-3 games.
It's going to be interesting.
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Monday to Thursday nights from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.